drums.
First episode of the March Madness Podcast. I have a special guest. You may not know him. I do. He is my roommate. He knows a ton about college basketball. He has given me so much information over this past spring semester. I'm super excited. Yesterday was a great day of college basketball. As we all know, March Madness was not around last year, but we're back. We're better than ever. So I want to introduce him. His name is Dante Curcione. He is one of the most notable energetic college basketball fans I know. He is a huge Michigan fan, and actually Michigan plays today. They're playing Texas Southern. We're not too worried about that, but we're going to get into the most notable players from yesterday. I'm going to start off with Buddy Boeheim. Who else did you see from yesterday? As we both watched together.
Yeah, Buddy Boeheim, he looked like a college Klay Thompson out there. 32 points, incredible. I loved Javion Hamlet from North Texas. I think he was great. Avery Anderson from Oklahoma State, he's been playing well the last couple weeks. Impressed in their conference tournament. Loved him. Brad Davison, 9 points a game, scored 29 last night.
Yeah.
I don't know where he's been all year, but
There's one guy you forgot to mention. That last late game we watched together on the couch. We didn't move all day. It was that Morehead State, West Virginia game. Miles McBride, dude. I mean, what? Come on. I mean, what do you have? 28 points, 29 points, something around there. I mean, he looks like a stud. I mean, if West Virginia is going to go far in the tournament, I think he's the reason they could definitely go far. What do you think?
Yeah, Deuce McBride, he's this isn't your typical Bob Huggins West Virginia team. They're not going to press you 94 feet like Javon Carter, and they score the ball. They can go on a 10-0 run in like 30 seconds. It's pretty fun to watch.
We were watching that game honestly yesterday, and it was like 45-43 for a while, and then I look over to my shoulder, and you're sitting there, and you go, "Well, what is it?" I said, "It's a 10-point game already," and then we look back over, and it's like an 18-point game late. So they pulled away, expected, and West Virginia will be going on to play Syracuse. So we just talked about Buddy Boeheim, right? You're going to give Syracuse any shot, or what do you think?
So West Virginia, they are, I think, 9th in the country in offensive rebounding per game.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Culver, they have a lot of long, athletic guys. And that Syracuse zone is vulnerable to offensive rebounding. But Syracuse, I mean, this is what Boeheim does.
Yeah.
Low seeds, sneak into the tournament, and he has his team ready to play it seems like every year.
It seems like one of those years where you would least expect Syracuse, and the ACC. We know, obviously Duke's on it, and obviously, I had to bring up Duke. Obviously, I mean, even though they don't really, they didn't really do much this year, but they're still going to be brought into it. And Syracuse, So I'm just interested to see what they'll do against West Virginia, and so I guess we'll see what they do. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one Sunday. Buddy Boeheim, Miles McBride. That'll be a primetime game. Can't wait.
Indeed, it will be. What about Loyola Chicago? What the heck? They're back again. There was no tournament last year, as I said earlier, not too long ago. But what the heck? I mean, Georgia Tech looked like they had that game in the bag in the first half. What happened?
Well, I mean, they jumped out 13-3, I think it was. But Loyola Chicago, they settled down. That active zone that Georgia Tech was playing was the 1-3-1. It had Loyola confused for the first 7 minutes, but I think Georgia Tech not having their big guy Moses Wright was massive. No one could defend Krutwig down there, and Lucas Williamson, he's been there for 4 years. He was there in the Final Four run. He had a great game yesterday, and second half they pulled away.
Got to give a shout out to Sister Jean. She's rock. She's awesome, but they're playing Illinois. That is Illinois. They are playing Illinois. The Fighting Illini. Are you going to give them any chance or no?
I think with their defense, you got to give them a chance. I think Illinois wins that game by double digits. They pull away late, but I think the guard matchup, the Norris kid and Loyola and Curbelo, Trent Frazier, it's really how the guards are going to play. Kofi Coburn's going to get his.
I agree with that.
But like Illinois, they'll go on a drought sometimes. They started the game off slow against Drexel, obviously. Them, but I think Illinois wins that game, but I think it'll be close for a little.
Not really going to talk Not really going to talk much more about Illinois, as we know they're going to play Loyola Chicago. Not really an interesting thing to get into. But without further ado, what else did you see yesterday from the games? I mean, there was what 16
Yeah, so
games, I
I
think there
think
was. Yeah,
the most impressive performance that I thought was Wisconsin.
yeah,
I mean, obviously got the upsets, Oral Roberts and North
yeah.
Texas, and those were fun to watch. But Wisconsin was my, I mean, they've put it together. Well, I mean, when they hit shots, I mean, they looked like the preseason number one team that everyone thought was going to be number one in the Big Ten.
Now,
But
yeah,
all this year, it's they've they play good teams good and lose. They beat the teams they're supposed to beat. But
yeah.
last night, I mean, they hit shots. They look great. Davison played well. Dimitri Trice, he's always going to give you his 15 whenever. Micah Potter,
Beside the fact, because I know obviously we did watch together, and everyone who is watching this or whoever is watching this knows that we did watch the games together. Got some great
uh,
knowledge from you yesterday. But beside Brad Davison and Dimitri Trice, that combo of Micah Potter and was it Reavers that they
yep.
combined together? What do you think of that? Because I remember you telling me yesterday while we were watching that in the beginning of the season they didn't they paired them and then they stopped mid-season, and now all of a sudden in big play tournament time they decided to pair them together. What do you think about that?
I mean, I love it. I think yeah. So all Big Ten play, they really would it would they'd start Reavers, they bring in Potter like 4 minutes into the game, blah blah. Um,
Yeah,
I when they play them together, I think they thought the height of North Carolina was going to be a problem, which so did I. I thought
yeah.
coming into that game, North Carolina was going to win. Dumb pick, uh, but they played them together like first 2 minutes, and I mean once they got up like 22-18, it was blowout central. So
Now,
I love that. Like you said, I love that pairing.
before we move on to our next little segment of the show, one thing I did want to say, fun fact, I love facts. Obviously, you know that Roy Williams was 29-0 in the round of 64 before he lost that Wisconsin game. So now obviously he moves on to
Yep.
29-1, and we close the chapter on North Carolina for another year, and we're moving on to Wisconsin is moving on to play who again? Be Baylor,
Baylor.
right?
Yep.
Oof. Ooh, I don't really want to talk much about Baylor. We both know they're super deep. Scott Drew seems like he's got another run in him with a bunch of seniors, but yeah. So I think we hit that. We got to move on. We got to go on to the next part of the show. Got to talk about these guys. We got to talk about them. What the heck did you think about that game yesterday? I was nervous in the first half. I mean, Virginia Tech was nailing threes. I'm like, is this the same Florida team I've seen all year in the SEC? They're so inconsistent. But take it away. Give us some insight on that game.
Well, it was the same Florida team you've seen all year. Very inconsistent.
Yeah.
Sometimes I question Mike White's decisions, especially on
Yeah.
defense.
Mm-hmm.
They got it done. He got it done. I mean, Castleton is an absolute gamer. He Michigan transfer. He wasn't going to start this year in Michigan. Transferred Florida, and he's dominated the SEC all year. I didn't like what they did at first with the press. Ended up wearing Virginia Tech out. They made some tough shots at the end. Mike White again, the three to tie it by Naheem Aline, I think it was. I mean, that
Yeah.
great game yesterday. I don't know why you don't foul there. I'm a big fan of up three, under 10 seconds left, foul. You let him make one, try to miss a second.
Yeah.
But but Florida battled. I mean,
They did. They did.
and
Now it's a great thing you say that because before we filled out our brackets, we were sitting there, in the living room talking. We're thinking, what the heck? Florida's got a really crappy road to Sweet 16. Are they going to make it to the round of 32? Is Virginia Tech going to beat them? Obviously, everybody here did fill out brackets and did pick Florida, and shame on you who didn't. That do go to school here, but they are going to play Oral Roberts. Is this in the bag? Are we moving on to the Sweet 16, or is Oral Roberts got some confidence now that they beat Ohio State?
it's not in the bag. But because at first, I mean, I picked Ohio State to beat Oral Roberts, as most people did.
Right.
I thought that Ohio State Florida game was going to be pretty close.
Yeah.
I think Florida and Ohio State played similar size basketball, but I think I think Castleton should handle O'Banner and their big guys down low.
Yeah.
But it's going to be a super fast-paced game. Florida likes to speed up tempo, press.
Yo,
They
they
switch
do.
every screen. They switch all screens. Um,
Yeah.
they want to speed you up. They're top 10, I think, in the nation in blocks. They get over a little over 5.5 blocks a game.
Yeah.
So they're going to speed Oral Roberts up and try to fluster them.
Oral Roberts, Florida. We got it tomorrow, right? Is it tomorrow or Monday?
Tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna stay in the SEC. We are gonna move to the Arkansas Razorbacks. They had that game against Utah State. They played pretty well. There was a lot of bench production. One guy that stood out to me in particular was Justin Smith. Have you heard of that guy? I really haven't. Have
Yeah.
you?
So Arkansas beat Colgate yesterday. Justin Smith, he's an Indiana transfer.
Okay.
He had 21, I think, against LSU in the tournament. They lost that game, but he played well. He's a hustler. I mean, he's not like super skilled or anything like that, but he gets buckets and he will block shots. I think he had 2 blocks yesterday. He rebounds. I think he had 13
Yeah,
yesterday.
something around there.
He does it all. When Moody
finished with 29, I think. Yeah.
Yeah. When Moody isn't playing well, I mean him, Desi Sills, I think Note off the bench, or I don't know if he starts now, but they get it done. They're balanced. They're deep.
Now they're a 3 seed, correct?
Yes.
Are you going to give them any sort of chance against a Baylor, Gonzaga, Michigan, and Illinois, or West Virginia? West Virginia and Arkansas are both 3 seeds. But before I even say that, they got a big game against Texas Tech coming up. What's your prediction on that one?
So in my bracket, I did pick. I picked Texas Tech to win that game.
Yeah.
I think they will. I don't think Arkansas likes to play half court game.
Mm-hmm.
I think Colgate. People are excited to watch that Colgate Arkansas game because it's a fast-paced game, and it was. But when Arkansas gets slowed down, I don't think that's going to be a good game for them. Now, if Texas Tech does struggle to shoot the ball, they're 3-point percentage, 200s. If Texas Tech shoots, I mean, they can beat anybody, but they've struggled to shoot it all year. So that should be a good one. I think it's going to be low scoring.
Yeah, I agree. It just seems like one of those years with the Big 12. Oklahoma State, you got West Virginia, Kansas, Baylor, Texas Tech, all those teams. And obviously, don't really want to talk much about Baylor, as I said earlier, but it just seems like those Big 12 teams were too inconsistent. I mean, Abel Christian in Texas today, are you going to come in with the upset, or are you just going to go, it's all about Texas? What do you think? Shaka Smart going to get it done, or no?
I'm not a big fan of Shaka Smart, but I think they get it done today. But I think one of my bets today is going to be Abilene Christian +8, +8.5. I think
you're betting. Close. Oh, geez.
Yeah. Oh, no. I think Abilene Christian, they keep it close. They can defend 1 through 5 very well.
Yeah.
They turn you over. I think they're a top 50 team in the country. Opponents' turnovers.
Wow. I didn't even know that.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to move away from the SEC. I'm going to move away from the Big 12. I'm going to move into the Big East. One of your favorite coaches, one of the best NBA getting ready players, coaches. And I'm going to have you take it away and talk about number 24 on Villanova. Who the heck is that? I don't even know. You tell me.
Jeremiah Robinson Earl. He is a great player, super fundamentally sound. He's not a flashy guy. He won't jump off the page, but he gets buckets. He rebounds. He does it all for Villanova, and he's really he stepped it up last night. But if they want to make a run, he's gonna have to be big because without Gillespie, their leadership role is kind of in question, and he's gonna have to step it up.
Now Villanova goes on to play who again?
Villanova will play North Texas tomorrow.
That's who it is. Okay, so it just seems like another one of those years where Jay Wright and his guys have a great road to the Sweet 16, maybe even the Elite Eight. Who knows? But I guess we'll have to go with Villanova in that one against North Texas. I know that kind of sounds weird, but yeah, it just seems like another one of those years with Jay Wright and his guys. And a lot of people did pick Winthrop. I don't remember the percentage was, but I mean, you just can't bet against Jay Wright. I mentioned to you last night that they remind me of like the San Antonio Spurs. They play so well together. And there was one thing that you mentioned to me last night was the what was it again? When the player enters the paint, the two-step pass.
Oh yeah, they're good when they
Let us
drive
know.
and kick. They do a lot of dribble drive action, kick out for three.
Yeah.
If you watch them, you can notice that whenever they get in the paint, they're not out of control. They always jump stop 2 feet, kick out, shot fake, draw foul. It's I mean their offense when they're clicking, it's really fun to watch.
So I mean, basically, we hit on all our points. We didn't really want to have a too long of a show because it is only day one. But if there's anything you think that's going to happen today, let us know in the comment section. This was our first episode, and as always, we will see you tomorrow. And thank you again.